Hi guys, this is Darth Deuce here, back on our Star Wars The Black Series action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the newly released Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary Rebel Commando. And this is the first video that I'm recording on my new smartphone, so you may see hopefully some better quality with the video. Maybe the sound will be a bit different, I have no idea. Like I said, first video I'm recording with this new phone. But yeah. 40th anniversary Rebel Commando. Very cool. We're getting the Rebel Commando Army Builder figure in the Black Series. I imagine this is one that collectors have been very excited for to come out. I actually kind of forgot this is a figure that was coming out. I completely missed out on the pre-orders. Not that I was necessarily going to pre-order it anyways, but I completely missed out on the pre-orders. But Amazon Canada got it in stock, so I picked one up. You can also get it at GameStop in Canada. I don't know where in the US. I think it might be a fan channel exclusive figure. I'm not sure. This figure is a deluxe release, which is a little unfortunate. We'll take a closer look. Maybe I'll be proved wrong, but from what I've seen in the packaging so far, I can't say this is probably going to be worth the deluxe price point. But you do have it on the Return of the Jedi card back with the image of the Rebel Commando in the movie. You got the figure in the bubble there, which is a really wide bubble with a lot of empty space in there. It definitely did not need to be this large. But yeah, it's just kind of funny, I guess. And you got the other figures in the wave. They did a Chewbacca that I think has a new head sculpt, but I could be wrong. A re-release of the 2020 Stormtrooper. Poplu, which I think has a bit of new stuff going on. A re-release of Emperor Palpatine. A re-release of Bib Fortuna, and then the Rebel Commando. And I think there's also a few others. I think maybe Han and Leia might have got Endor releases. I can't remember. But that's pretty much it for the packaging. So I'm going to crack this guy open. We'll take a closer look at the figure. Now I got the figure out of the packaging, and it's a pretty cool figure. Definitely my biggest complaint, though, is the price point. He just doesn't, I don't think comes with enough accessories. There's paint apps, I think, that are lacking. I just don't see the deluxeness of this figure, if I'm being honest. This figure comes with the same amount, honestly, if not maybe a little less accessories than the 40th anniversary Hoth Rebel Trooper, and the Hoth Rebel Trooper was a standard release at the standard price point. It wasn't a deluxe. So this figure being deluxe, I'll be honest, kind of a scam. Yeah, let's take a closer look. I am happy that we did get the Rebel Commando, kind of this more standard looking Rebel Trooper, not the more specialized like Fleet Troopers or the Hoth Troopers. So I think that's pretty cool. I think the head sculpt and the face print looks really nice. The face doesn't look too glossy, which is good. And I like the sculpt of the helmet. And they did sculpt to just the edges of the ends of his hair there, which I think is nice. Yeah, that looks pretty good. One thing I will say, though, right off the bat, is kind of maybe wishing they didn't even bother sculpting the hair there, because this figure, as you saw in the packaging, does come with an interchangeable face sculpt, and that interchangeable face sculpt has a graying beard that just does not fit with the brown of the hair in the back. It's a small thing, you never really notice it. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's worth mentioning. There's a fair amount of paint on the helmet. You get some silver brushing and wear and tear on the metal bits, and some nice different browns and whatnot. Fair amount of paint. He does have this loose bandolier, nice sculpt detail, silver paint for all these little doohickeys on his bandolier, which is cool. And you got like the vest. It's a softer plastic. You just got a standardly sculpted like shirt underneath there. A little bit of silver paint. Not really much weathering though. Kind of wish this figure had a bit more weathering going on. But you got more little details here and there that are sculpted and painted pretty well. The arms are pretty basic though. Belt has some pouches. Belt buckles painted, which is nice detail. The camo on the pants does look pretty good. I like that quite a bit. And then the like sculpted pockets and whatnot, which I think look good. And you just got boots, which also don't have any weathering, which I think is pretty interesting. Usually they like to at least put weathering on the boots. Didn't even do that here. So I think sculpt-wise, I think it's great. Paint-wise, what paint is there, I think is good. But I think especially at the deluxe price point, could have had more paint, more weathering going on. But he still looks good, not gonna lie. Good-looking Rebel Commando. In terms of articulation, everything you'd expect. He's got a dumbbell joint in the head as well as a joint at the base of the neck. Looks down quite a bit, looks up a fair amount, pivots decently, rotates. Single hinges at the elbows, which move about 90. There is also a butterfly joint. You get a bit of movement, nothing too crazy, but there is a bit of movement there. Single hinge at the elbow, which bends past 90 and rotates. Swivel and hinge at the wrist. The right wrist has a trigger finger and goes up and down. The other one's more of a standard grip, but it goes in and out. And actually does also have a trigger finger as well if you want them holding two guns or have them left-handed or whatever. Torso joint at the base of the waist actually moves quite a bit. It crunches forward. It doesn't actually crunch forward actually a whole lot, to be honest. It goes back a fair amount. Pivot's okay. Rotation. This bandolier is quite loose and can be kind of fiddly, I won't lie. You could probably take it off if you wanted to. If your army building one has some differences between your troops, you could probably take that off, which is kind of nice, I guess. Hinges at your ball joints at the hips, split about that far, kick forward, don't really kick back, swivel cut at the thigh. Single hinge at the knee, which bends about 90. And then hinges at the ankles, go up just a little bit, go down not too much, and pivot. So articulation's good, nothing too crazy, but pretty much what you expect from a Black Series figure. But like I said, again, nothing really deluxe about the articulation. So then with accessories, like I said, he comes with what he needs to come with pretty much. He doesn't come with a ton of stuff, like definitely not deluxe. But you do get a couple guns. You get the standard Rebel large pistol, which is just cast in this gunmetal color. I wish this had some paint on it, but that's cool. And you can have them, hold that no problem. That looks nice. Unfortunately, no holster to store. Nowhere's to store the blaster. The Rebel Hoth Trooper had a holster on his hip to store this pistol. Kind of wish, even if it's not part of the design, kind of wish he may have had a holster or something to store that. So that's a bit unfortunate, but you do get that option. You also get the longer rifle, Rebel rifle, which is very cool. But again, no paint, just cast in gunmetal color. But I really like this gun, and that looks really good. Again, there's no weapon storage for it, but you can hold it pretty well. And get that other hand on the other side, and then you get them in two-handed poses pretty easily. I gotta take this off though, because he does also come with a backpack. Backpack is cool. It has good sculpting, a fair amount of bit of paint apps there. The straps are fairly pliable. I've not put this on the figure yet, so I don't know how much of a pain or not this is going to be to get on them. Okay, it's actually pretty easy to get on the figure, which is good because sometimes these backpacks are really not good to get on. But yeah, there's the backpack. It goes on them pretty easy. Stays on pretty good, so that's nice. And then, like I said, he does come with an interchangeable faceplate, just like the Hoth Trooper. So to remove this, I've never removed this, so bear with me here. That is tight, tighter than I would have expected. Jeez. All right, I got the other interchangeable face on. It's not super easy to swap because the face without the beard. It's not easy to get leverage to pull it out, but I had to get something to wedge it out of there. We got it on there, and this face sculpt also looks really good. Honestly, probably my preferred out of the two. This is just a bit more interesting. He's got the graying beard. I like the expression. Looks pretty good. I think it's the big fan theory that this is Captain Rex as a rebel on Endor. I think the original name of the character in the movie is Nick Sant, I think. And I think it's still that Nick Sant character. I just don't think this rebel body has the proper proportions to be Rex. Rex is also not a white. He's more tan than this. Has a darker complexion, so I just think it's still just Nick Sant, or it can be just some random older gentleman as a rebel soldier. It doesn't really matter, but it can be whatever you want. If you want it to be Rebel Rex, you can have it be Rebel Rex too. It doesn't really matter. Do what you want. That's the flexibility of the figure, I suppose. But that looks really good. Not too much else to say. One thing I am missing is that the Rebel Hoth Trooper, his backpack actually could store the extra faceplate, interchangeable face, so you wouldn't lose it or whatever. This one has the backpack, but doesn't have the storage for the faceplate, which really sucks, especially considering I feel like it would have been easy. Like, this is just as wide, if not a bit wider, than that Rebel Fleet or Rebel Hoth backpack, and there would have been plenty of room to hollow that out, be able to store, or have it open up or something and store the face in there. So it's a bit unfortunate the backpack doesn't have any actual functionality. I won't lie, bit disappointing on that one. But overall, I think it is a good figure. It looks good. Comes with all the accessories it needs to come with. But I think it's just not worth the deluxe price point, if I'm being honest. I don't think it has any more paint apps than any other standard Black Series figure. It doesn't have really any extra accessories. It is a whole new sculpt, but it's not a bigger character. Not a ton of extra pieces on him, really. Would have been nice if he came with a soft goods trench coat or something. Doesn't come with that. It can't store the face. It just does the exact same thing that the Hoth Rebel Trooper does at a higher price point. Which, if I would not, I honestly would not complain as much if this was a standard priced figure, Black Series figure. If this is a standard price Black Series figure, I'd still bring up the complaints, but I wouldn't be so anal about it. But at the price point, you just expect more. Maybe that's too much to ask from Hasbro at this point. I should probably expect that at this point. So maybe the joke's on me. But yeah, don't. I definitely think it's still a great figure. If you've been really excited for this release, I would recommend picking it up. If you're a bit more impartial or you can wait, I would maybe see waiting on sale if they go on sale. If this is at if we're regularly retailed at the normal basic figure price point, I'd probably pick up a few more. But now I'm not picking up any more unless they go on sale. But quickly before we end off here, I will do a couple just quick comparisons to some other Rebel army builders they released. Here's the Fleet Trooper. And then here is the Hoth Rebel Trooper. All on, in the end of the day, very solid releases. It is nice to finally be able to kind of flesh out the Rebel Army a little bit. Um, I'd say the Hoth Trooper is still by far the best out of the three. It just, does everything and does it the best. Honestly, at the best, at least at the time, at the best price point. I don't know if these are still can get these at a reasonable price or not, but yep, that is pretty much it for the review. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one. May the force be with you.